Follow-up breakout. My name is Alex Theis. I'm the Vice President of Field Relations. This is Scott Bell. He is the Vice President of Analytics and Promotions. You will never, ever in your life meet two people who are more maniacal about retention or think about it day and night than us. There might be somebody that thinks about it the same. Nobody more than the two of us. You know why? Because we know the value of it. We've seen the results. Scott has worked with two different giants in the network marketing industry and helped them improve their retention. Retention is the secret. How many people think, talk about duplication in their business, right? Yeah. Retention is the secret to something we call multiplication and acceleration. Okay? Retention takes what you've done and it multiplies it. It's like buying Microsoft stock or Apple stock in 1980 or Walmart stock in 1978 and not looking at it until this year. That is what retention will do for your business. But here's what Scott and I know about most of you. And you can tell yourself it's not you, but it's most of you from experience are really good at talking about products or opportunity and are probably really good at bringing people in when you really want to and put your mind to and you're excited. Most of you, at some point, stop following up with the people you already have. We know the fortune is in the follow-up, meaning follow up with prospects, right? That's good. You need to follow up with prospects. You can't stop prospecting. You can't stop bringing new people into your business. But the real secret to explosive growth is retention. And we know that most of us stop following up at some point. And we're gonna go over the reasons for that. We're gonna go over how to follow up. We wanna make you aware of it. And what we are doing tonight, this afternoon, both of us have done extensively, so you're learning from people that have done it. We've got success, we've got results. This isn't theory, it's not philosophy. It's real and it will work if you do it, and it is profoundly simple. If I can do it, anybody can. If he can do it, anybody can. Anything you want to add to that?
No, let's go.
Let's roll, right? Let's do it. Okay, retention secrets. Facebook focused on retention. Retention is the single most important thing for growth. Facebook adds things almost every week to keep you there and keep you coming there and keep you coming there often. They are a marketing machine. Value of retention. Bain & Company and Harvard Business School, increasing customer retention rates by 5% increases profits by 25 to 95%. In our experience, it's much closer to 95%. I forgot those other stats. Here's why, because once you've already got a customer, you don't have to spend time marketing to them. You don't have to spend time convincing them. You don't have to spend time using marketing materials. You don't have to do any of that. They've already purchased. So every time they purchase after that is pure profit, not just from a company perspective, but your time is the most valuable thing you have. Way more valuable than money. You can't replace it. Every minute you spend with follow-up on retention is worth probably 20 minutes you spend follow-up for prospecting. Yet so few of us do it. And somebody out here, at least one of you, is going to take this and it's going to turn around your business today. In the next few months, you're going to apply this and it's going to turn around your business. But it's up to you. This will work for you. Oh, wow, let's jump in. Wow. Oh, wow. Yeah, maybe. Okay, we're going to start right there. So we're going to pay some attention to retention. There's only 3 ways to grow a business. When you really boil it down, there's only 3 ways to grow a business. Number 1, you get new people, new customers, new distributors. Number 2, more transactions per person. More revenue per transaction. So higher average order. Or number 3, more transactions per person. There's only 3 ways to grow your business. All are very, very genuine, but most of us are focused on number 1. Bringing in new people, bringing in new people, bringing in new people. Here's the challenge with that. Your bucket is leaking. And if your bucket looks like this, It doesn't matter how much water you put in it. And if every time you filled that pail and walked back to where you had to take the water to, 80 to 90% of it was gone, all that hard work is wasted, right? The toughest job you have is introducing new people. That's a really tough job. So you spend all that effort on it. For a fraction of that effort, you can patch this bucket and see major rewards. How many of you want to keep more people that come into your business, customers or distributors? Yeah. Good, because if you didn't raise your hand, or at least think about raising your hand, you're in the wrong place. So Scott is the guru of the data. Without him, I wouldn't be able to do this presentation. And some of the things we're going to do together to help you and come to you over the next several months are going to all be based on data that he's mining right now from groups. You're going to love it. Some of the tools we're going to be giving you over the rest of the year. So take it away on these.
Thanks, Alex. So we're going to give an example of the power of retention. So let's say, for example, you earn about $5,000 a month. And 4,000 of that, or 80%, comes from the new recruiting that you bring in every month. So all the instant bonuses, CEO packs, signing people up, the quick start. And 20% comes from people who signed up in a prior month, either the previous month or the month before, that reordered. So what I want to do is, what's going to happen if we switch those around? So what happens is, I want you to spend the exact same amount of time recruiting, but I want 80% of your revenue coming in every month and your volume coming in every month to be from people who came in and signed up prior to the current month. So, and what we're saying is, if you just focus on retention a little bit and follow up and spend a little bit of extra effort, here's what your income would be if you switch those percentages around. You are earning the same $4,000 from recruiting, but you make an extra $15,000 from the people that signed up in previous months just by calling them back. That's the power of retention. So what I want you to do is focus on, keep the same effort recruiting, but spend a little extra time following up with people to get them to order again, because as Alex said, this is what will help patch the bucket. So when you keep filling it with water, you don't have to keep going back and signing people up to keep the income. We want to help you build a residual income, and that's the long-term goal here, so you can retire and enjoy your life. So that's why we're all here, right? Yes. So.
And there's something called the rule of 72. You can all look it up. I'm not making it up. It's how compound interest works. And when it comes to retention, if you increase your retention 3% a month over month, just 3%, in 24 months, your business will double. Your volume will double. If you keep the recruiting where you're at and just increase 3% a month, in 24 months, your business will double. Meaning if you have 15,000 in volume, you'll have 30. With the same amount of effort, except just putting a little more effort into retention. Next. So the benefits of better retention: more income, as you just saw Scott talk about; stability, more you can rely on. You don't get as much fluctuation with your volume. And in our business, if you have a lot of fluctuation and you have to put in a lot of orders at the end of the month and have to find a lot of new people, it can be really stressful. And when you're new, that's what you have to do. But the more mature your business gets, like Scott said, you want it to be reliable. Because when it's reliable, you have more time to work with your new people, which makes such a difference. Remember, we're talking about customers and distributors. The number one reason, in my experience, why well-meaning new distributors don't do anything or don't really do as much as we thought they would is they didn't know what to do. Right? Nobody trains us for this type of business in high school or college, right? Our parents, most of our parents, mine was go to school, get good grades, find a job with a pension. Good luck with that, right? I went to school to be a newspaper journalist. Doesn't exist anymore, essentially, right? Elevated belief. Here's the thing about retention. When more people stick around, more people are ordering, your team's belief goes up. We have great products, right? Can you imagine belief even where it's at now, which is high, going higher and higher? When your team believes in the products and believes in the business because more people stick around, that's a good thing, right? So when belief elevates, recruiting increases. So better retention, it's crazy how this works. Better retention means recruiting goes up. This is why it's acceleration. You want to go further, faster, it's all about retention. I promise you this works. Your recruiting will go through the roof because people know that they'll stick. And when somebody's a good recruiter, most really solid, there's people who are just born natural recruiters. Anybody know somebody like that? They're just great at prospecting. But they're usually not that good at developing leadership or training. They're just really good at bringing people in. And most of those people have really bad retention. So when you can help them, their recruiting doubles or triples because they know people are going to stick around. And people get burnt out when people don't stick around. If I bring in 10 people this month and 8 of them are gone next month, and of the 2, 1 of them's gone in the 3rd month, and the 4th month they're all gone, that's a belief killer, right? It's like, I got to work to bring all these people in or bring all these people in. And then the other thing we hear is, I'm out of people to talk to. Well, the more people that stick around, the more referrals you get. The more customers say, my mom would like to try this. I know someone would like to try it. When you have a bigger customer pool, you end up having a bigger distributor pool. More people, so I just covered more people to work with. Next. Why do they stop ordering, Scott?
There's only a few reasons people stop ordering. One, they buy the product and they just didn't open the box. So a simple phone call saying 2 days or 3 days later after they got the product, you say, hey, how did it work for you? Did it taste good? How did you make it? That's 1/6 of the way toward resolving your retention issue. Just follow up with them, and if they don't know how to take it, as a lot of people are, for some reason, are afraid to open the package, like it's the first time they ever touched something like that. So you want to walk them through it while you're on the phone with them, walk them through how to use the product while they're on the phone, and then get their opinion right then. Or they're not given the instructions. Maybe they don't know how to make the product, if it's a shake or something else. They're afraid to take it the wrong way, or it might not work how they thought it did. Or nutrition just simply isn't a priority for them. And then you have to ask, why did they order the product? And maybe they want to order one of our other products. We have a lot of verticals now, a bunch of different products. So that's your chance to upsell them on a different product. If they don't like that one, send it back. What about this one?
Do you know less than 3% of Americans budget for nutrition? Less than 3%. Most of them are just trying to survive, and they're buying Kellogg's cereal, right? That's most households. I know that's not all of us. Don't look at my pantry. But they don't budget for it, so it's not a priority. Oh, come back. So it's not a priority. So the retention team at home office that makes calls, one of the reasons, this is coming straight from them, from youngevity. Now this is our experience in working with this too, so it's pretty common. But with youngevity, we talk to people every day, lots of people that never opened the box. And by that I mean they literally never opened it, or they opened it and it's sitting on their pantry. And so then we say, okay, listen, here's what you're gonna do. You already paid for it, take it out, put it somewhere where you're gonna see it every single day, and start taking it. Can we all agree that these first 3 things we can talk to people about? So if it's not a priority, people build their lives around priorities. Right? They build their lives around television shows. When the show Lost was on, I don't know what night it was on, but people built their life around being home and watching that show. Because that show happened right before Netflix got big and right before TiVo's got big. So people built their life around that. Really, it was a priority to them. If it's not a priority, they spend $100, $200, $500, and it just sits on their shelf. I'm shocked at it still. I've dealt with it thousands of times, but people have products just sitting on their shelf. All you have to do is call them when they get that box, because sometimes people are afraid of how to take it, how to take it right. They get confused. It is not a priority in their life. You can help with that as soon as they get it. Products didn't work, they perceive. When we deal with this, most of the time it's because they just didn't take it. It's amazing when you don't take the products, they don't work. It's true. It's so weird. So many times we talk to people who say, yeah, I stopped taking that. The powder tasted really bad. Did you know we have capsules or pills or tablets? No. Once it's done, it's like it wasn't a priority to them. The liquid tasted bad. I don't like pills. We hear that so often. Did you know we have a liquid? I had no idea. That's something we can all do, right? We can all help people with. Minor preventable issues. These are little minor preventable issues. If somebody stopped ordering legitimately because they think these products stink or they didn't like you, there's not a lot you can do about that. There just isn't. If they really, or it's really a bad time in their life. They lost their job and they just can't afford it anymore. That's okay. But the vast majority of people that buy our products and stop fall into one of these categories, and each one of these is preventable. We agree?
Yeah.
So how do we get ahead of the curve, Scott?
I don't know. Why don't you tell me?
So based on what you just saw, when your people get to the box, call them. Call them. A 3-minute phone call to say, hey, you got your box? You got your order? Here's what you need to do. You literally have to tell them what to do. Take it out of the box. You don't have to talk to them like I'm talking to you. But hey, take it out of the box. Open it. Make sure, did you get everything? Great. Here's the system we use. Start taking the product every day. Here's what I do. I take it with my breakfast, right? Here's where I put it. People need to put it in a spot, not in their pantry because of white noise. They need to put it in a weird spot. Your subconscious loves things that are weird. Okay? You remember crazy things that happened in your life because it's not ordinary to your subconscious. So when your house, it becomes very white noise. But when you put these products somewhere where you're going to see them and it's weird, people go, oh, I'll take that. They get reminded. Sometimes you have to move your products because then they'll become white noise. They're sitting next to the microwave and you see them every day and you just start to forget to take them. It's so weird when I go 3 days without taking my youngevity products. And then I immediately move them or change the container they're in. We need to help you with that. Get out of the curve. So call people when they get the box. So about 7 or 8 days in, 10 days in, call them a week later to see how they're doing on the product because so many people start and 3 days later stop. Call them at the 30-day mark. So 7, 14, 30 days. Make sure they're doing okay, see how they're doing on the product. Around 30 days, they should be running out and ready to reorder. Call them at the 45-day mark, because if they weren't ready at 30, they should be ready at 45. Call them at 60 and call them at 90. I just listed 7, 14, 30, 45, 6 phone calls, 3 minutes. 18 minutes over 90 days. Can you make that happen? If you did that with 20 people and got one extra order, it paid for itself. It's really that simple. Most of this is just getting ahead of the curve. So takeaway, one of your takeaways today should be just to develop your own system to get ahead of the curve right away. Don't beat yourself up. I should have been doing this for years. I think of all the people I've lost. You know what? That's great. Think of all the people you're going to keep now. Let's focus on the positive. You can do this. This is something you probably have people on your team, or you will have people on your team who like to do this sort of thing. Get them working with you. Start your process when you leave. If you do this with every new person, distributor or customer, same thing with distributor. Hey, you got your box. They need to start taking it. They need to get a wow experience quickly so they start talking about it. It's hard to introduce people to a business, to longevity, when you're not on the products and aren't experiencing them. So get them in the habit of taking them. Create your own system. Your system might be 10 days, 20 days, 30 days. It doesn't matter. If you employ the system and you do it religiously for the next 90 days, make it a habit or priority, it will work for you. Most of us are not doing this. And I would say easily 90% of you are not doing this, but it's probably close to 100% of you are not doing this. But I would bet 50% of you did this at one point. Life got in the way, or maybe 1 or 2 people were a difficult call and they told you, I don't like these products, too expensive. Oh, I don't like that. I don't want to talk to people like that. I'm going to teach you how to deal with that too. All right, next. So we just talked about your system for new people. Now let's talk about how do you get back to people who haven't ordered. So it's like, well, Alex, I haven't been doing this system, and I've got people who ordered a few times, but now it's been 90 days since they ordered. Does anybody have zeros underneath them and you're not quite sure why and you haven't talked to them? It's probably why you're here, right? One of the biggest reasons why we don't make the calls to people that stopped ordering is because we are scared to death. I've been there. Scared to death because they're going to call, you're going to call them, and they're going to say, it's too expensive. You haven't called me. Don't you love that when you call somebody and they're like, you haven't called me in a long time. We're talking now, right? Products didn't work. You said you'd follow up with me. I sold it to my mom and she didn't like it. We're afraid of rejection. It's part of our DNA and our subconscious is we don't like to deal with it. Your subconscious job is to protect you, so your subconscious says, don't do follow-up. The only thing that can happen from that is bad. Someone's going to tell us how evil we are, or our products are, or our company is, right? So subconsciously, our mind is protecting us. It thinks it's working for us, but it's self-sabotage. Very normal. So we just have to retrain our subconscious. It's very simple to do. You can do it in a matter of hours or days. But the emotional piece is why people don't make these calls. Does it make sense to make these calls? Yeah. Makes perfect sense. But we don't do it because we're scared. The phone is heavy. We're afraid of what people will say. So first, to get past this, who wants to get past this? Yeah. So first, to get past, I've been in your shoes and I had to develop a system to help people get past this. And once I realized I could do it, I was like, wow, I could show this to other people. I wonder if it'll work. The great thing about showing this system to other people is they do it better than me because they do it their way. I can't do it their way. Each of you should take this and do it your way. Find a way that works and you'll do it better than me. You do it better than the team at home office. You do it because you're you. No one could be you. So first, the call, when we're scared, when we're nervous, when we're afraid of what they're saying, we're just looking in the mirror. When we introduce the products to somebody, is that about us or them? Them. We're all here to help people, whether financially or with their health, right? When you're scared to make the call, when you don't make the call because you're afraid of what they're saying, that's all about you. That's a very selfish thing. I know I've been there. But that's all about you. The call is about them. So the first thing you have to do is make the mental shift that this isn't about you. Fear is about you, but excitement is about them. So you got to get excited to find out why they stopped taking the products. This was the biggest shift in my mind. I went from, I'm afraid, to, I want to know. I want to know. I want to know, because I can use that. So if I screwed up with you, and I didn't help you with the instructions, and you told me if I had instructions, I'd keep ordering. Okay, good. Now I'm going to use instructions. I'm going to get ahead of the curve, right? The call is about them. This mental shift takes the emotion out of it. It's almost like you're acting as your own agent. I am really good at negotiating, but when I have to negotiate for myself, it's a whole different ballgame. Like, I could negotiate for Scott all day. If he bought a car and he's like, my payment's $500, I'm like, dude, I could have got that for $300. But if I walked in with the same car, it's much more difficult because now there's emotion involved. So you have to act as your own agent in your head. Here's how I did this first, and you have to figure out your own way, but I started making calls like this. I started being an actor, and I call people and say, how are you doing today? Hi. I literally got a Texas accent and started making calls till I got comfortable. Because it's like riding a bike. When the first time you learned to ride a bike, it was tough, you fell, you wanted the training wheels back on, but once you got good at it, you can't imagine not doing it. So we just got to get good at it. And the only way to get good at it is get experience. So you have to find something that works for you to get out of your own head. For me, that was using accents. And I still do it when I train people. I'll find myself slipping to that. Because the fear never leaves. I'm human. If I'm not nervous to talk to you today, I'm not human. When you're nervous, it's because you care. You're scared because you care. If you didn't care, you're just like, I'll just call this person. Why'd you stop taking it? Tell me, I want the truth. You care, so you're nervous. So act as your own agent. This is a huge shift in your mind. You can literally make this just by calling. Here's the other way, another way to add to that. All you're going to do is ask questions. All you're going to do is ask questions. We're not going to ask them, why did you stop ordering, unless we have a really good relationship with them. The first question I ask people, you reverse engineer this. You say, how are the products working for you? If you know what they took, how's your BTT working for you? That tells them, and it tells their subconscious, these products work. How is the product working for you? Now I know they haven't taken it for 90 days or 6 months, right? It's a weird question to ask when I know you're not taking the products. How is it working for you? I already know the answer to that. I want to get you in the right frame of mind. Because if I call and say, hey, I'm just wondering why you stopped, the other person on the other end of the line gets very defensive. And their subconscious says, whoa, we don't like to be attacked. We hate it. This person's evil. I don't want to deal with you. So they stop taking your call, right? But when you call and just say, how's the product working for you? They don't know what to do. It's the most common question. It's working pretty good. Really? How? Tell me how it's working for you. Well, it's this trust thing right away. So the first thing with the call, and a lot of the people we call, we don't know personally. So you know them personally. So you're already going to have this. But you don't ask them how they are. That's disingenuous. You're calling for a reason. So when I call, how are you? I'm just waiting. I don't want to know the answer to that. I want to know why you stopped ordering, so we're going to get there. When I call, I say, hi, Scott. Just like I would do if I was calling a friend. Hi, pause, Scott. Hey, this is Alex with Youngevity, where you get your Beyond Tangy Tangerine. How is it working for you?
Pretty good.
That's what we get. Because as soon as I say hi, pause, Scott, his brain says, this is a friend, this is a friend, this is a friend. I don't know who this is, but this is a friend. I like this person. I can trust them. I can trust them because phone sales are dead. Right? Which is why I love them. Love them. Because everyone thinks they're dead. Because they just approach it the wrong way. Hi, Scott. Their brain says, oh, who is this? Who is this? Who is this? Who is this? I know this person. I know this. And while their brain is confused, which is when you learn, this is why children learn so well, why little kids can learn 7 languages before they're 5 years old, because they live in a state of confusion. And as adults, we're trained, don't be confused. That's weak. But as soon as I put you in a state of confusion, I keep dropping ideas to you. And I let you know more things that you know. So I just told you I'm a friend subconsciously saying, hi, Scott. This is Alex. I've used my first name, never use last names. I don't say, how are you? This is Alex with Youngevity, where you get your Beyond Tangy Tangerine. Where else are they going to hear Beyond Tangy Tangerine? Or enzymes, or any of that. They're not going to hear that in so now their brain's like, whoa, weirdness, things I remember, you know me, this is crazy. How's the product working for you? I just put their brain in a major state of confusion in a genuine way. How's the product working for you? So that's why they say,
pretty good.
Because their brain just says, you got me where you want me. Pretty good. And they usually ask in a question, like, pretty good? They're like, where are you taking me? It's like you have them in a boat just drifting down the river. And then you just ask more questions. Great, how is it working for you? What do you like about it? You have to ask questions you're genuinely curious about. I can't train you to be curious. I cannot train you to be curious. And if you're not curious about what makes people tick, and how to keep them ordering, and how to better your retention, I can't help you. But if you're curious, you just keep asking questions. Oh, great. So it is working for you. You taking it every day? No, actually I'm not. After 2 or 3 questions, they trust you completely and they say, I'm not taking it anymore. Oh, now you're shocked. Really? Why is that? So you see how I reverse engineered. I want to start by saying, why did you stop? You should order. Don't you know these products work? Now you're going to run for the hills. But when I work it back into and you tell me, I'm I'm not taking it anymore. I never opened the box. Oh my gosh, why is that? Well, life got in the way and great. Well, let's open the box. What did you like about it? What got you to order in the first place? When you ask these positive questions and things you're genuinely curious about, people love to be interviewed. People love when you're curious about them. The people who ask the questions always control the conversation. That's why car salesmen have a list of like 1,000 questions to ask you. They'll even ask you about your kids in a completely disingenuous way, but they've got your subconscious. Now, you do the same thing. We hear a dog bark in the background. Is that your dog? What's your dog's name? Now, I'm genuinely curious about that. I am. I wouldn't ask it disingenuously. And now you trust me already on this call and your subconscious is confused. And now I just asked you your dog's name and you're like, really? Are you going to send me flowers next? You're like, no one's paid attention to me in weeks, not even the people in my house. You seem like you really love me. Which brings me to the next point. Every single person I ever call, I have one goal on the call. Is it a sale? Leave them better than I found them. 7 or 8 times out of 10, that means no sale. But if I get no sale and I don't leave them better than I found them, I'll never get a sale. But if I leave them better than I found them, my chances of getting another sale go up to like 500%. Actually, it's not. It's like 50%. It dramatically increases. Does it seem like I like this and it's fun? Can you imagine follow-up being fun? Would you make it a priority if it was fun and rewarding? Trust me, it is. It is. I love it because I hate to sell. I hate to be rejected. I hate objections. I hate cringing. I don't want to hate picking up the phone. I want to love helping people. So you've got to have this fervor for it, this excitement for it. And that's where you get the curiosity. And here's what happens. We get people to the point where they're telling us, actually, we stopped taking it, but it was really working for me. We hear these amazing stories. The product was really working for me. The enzymes, every time I ate, I got indigestion, but when I took the enzymes, I didn't get that. Really? Once they tell you that, okay, here's where the sales techniques come in, and I'm only teaching it from a genuine way. Once they give you a cue, and you've got to recognize this, then you give them an option. Buy or buy. Those enzymes really worked for you, so I'm going to edify everything you tell me, especially when it's positive. Wow, those enzymes really worked for you. Yes, they did. Remember, they're subconscious. They're in the only way to put this, they're in a semi-hypnotic state in a very positive way. If somebody gets hypnotized to quit smoking, that's a good thing, right? If somebody gets semi-hypnotized to buy the product, that's a good thing. But we're not hypnotizing or tricking anybody, ever. But they're in this very soft emotional state, and they like you. And then there's something genuine about you. That's a good thing, right? And you already know these people, so you have a major advantage over what I would do when I don't know them. So once they give me a trigger, the question is buy or buy. You love those enzymes. Did you want to get one bottle? Did you want to reorder one bottle? Or did you want to save money with a 6-pack? Beyond Tangy Tangerine, did you want to get one canister or did you want to save money with a 4-pack? Does this come in 3-pack? 3-pack, see? The bag was 60 servings. Here's the great thing. If I said to you, did you want to save money with a 4-pack? And you came back to me and said, well, I thought it came in a 3-pack. Great, we'll get that. When you ask the right questions, they are going to tell you exactly what they want. Here's the great thing. When you've done this in a really genuine way, you're qualifying people, and if they're not ready to order, if they really don't have the money, it's going to be a really soft, nice conversation. They're like, listen, I just don't have the money. It's $100. Remember our only goal, even better than we found them. I totally understand. When things get better, maybe be ready to order again. Until then, I'll just follow up with you. Now again, I never ask a question with a yes or no answer or that confuses them in a bad way. Confusing people in a bad way is, when would be a good time to call you back? Because if you look at your smartphone, you're like, never. I've got kids, I've got everything, I've got dogs, I've got everything going on, I got to go to Anaheim, my life is crazy. Everybody's life in here is crazy. Technology has made it crazier. So when you say, when's a good time to call you back? They're like, All that trust you just built, they're just like, whoa, alarm. Great. So I can call you back in about 20 days or 30 days. Buy or buy, buy or buy. Yes or yes, yes or yes. The great thing is when you give somebody yes or yes, they can still say no. I don't want you to ever call me again. Great, I won't do that. I mean, I will in a few months, but when it's genuine, you just leave people better than you found them, and no one gets angry with you. And if they do, you're like, wow, I'm glad that was a quick call. I won't call them back again. Seriously, the rejection becomes really, really simple. Really simple. Is this making sense? Yeah. This helping you a little? I hope your mind is spinning in ways you can do this. You have to have fun with it, and the only way to have fun is be genuinely curious about people. I want to know why are they taking that product? There's products I don't take. What products do you take?
90 and selenium.
Selenium. Well, how does the selenium work for you? I don't take it. How does the selenium work for you? I want to know.
Really great.
Really great. What do you take? What do you take it for?
I sleep better.
Sleep better?
Yeah, I have better energy.
Better energy. That sounds great. What does that allow you to do? Like, what can you do now that you couldn't do before?
I just get more done during the day.
Right. See how she's just in this positive, it's genuine, right? I'm not tricking her. I really want to know. I don't take selenium. So there's people in your group that probably take a product you don't. I'm curious, what does it work? Now I'm going to try it based on what she tells me. I could use more energy. But she's going to tell me why it's so good. She's selling herself on it. And these products are so good. This program we put in at Youngevity is one of the most fruitful and frankly just really productive and fun programs because the products were so good. I've worked with programs like this where the product was tough, like a magic juice. It still works when people love it. But here, I'm telling you these calls will work because people love these products because they work, and they've worked for 20 years. What? 7. Okay. Next slide. Okay, common objections. How do we get past some of the common objections? The biggest objection people have goes back to the reason why they stopped taking it. The biggest objection they have when they say it doesn't work is because they never took it and they didn't take it properly. It didn't help them with what they thought it would help them with. 9 times out of 10, they just didn't take it as directed. So we help them with that. None of these calls are one and done. You can't go in with the mentality, I got to get a sale, I got to get them back on auto ship. Erase that. The number one goal is leave them better than you found them. And most of the time, that's educating them, talking to them. Make it a quick call. This isn't a call about their dogs, even though you might ask their dog's name. This isn't a call about the weather. Any of those things trickle off. And this is why people stop follow-up too, because like every time I do follow-up, every call's a half an hour. I make 3 calls and it's like an hour and a half, and then I gotta go pick up the kids. Be calculated, be genuine, leave people better than you found them. Once people give you cues to buy or that they're not ready, leave them better than you found them and let them go. I told you I was wrong with this. So what are some other common objections? Too expensive. That's a pretty common one. That just means they didn't find value in it. You know, people buy Starbucks every day and spend an exorbitant amount of money. People who get freeze with when someone says it's too expensive, I'm like, oh, I don't have an answer for that. I don't have these prices. Because to some people, they are expensive. Just to some people. That's their world. Well, what were you looking for the products to do for you? I just shift it. I can't win the money argument. Unless you feel good about it and you say, well, I can get you on auto ship and get you free shipping. That's going to save you about 15 to 20 bucks. That might save them 14, it might save them 17. I don't know what exactly it's going to save them, but I don't have to work in black and white with this. But I just shift it and ask another question. Remember, you ask the questions, you control the conversation. Once you freeze up, someone throws an objection at you, just ask more questions that you want to know about. Oh, well okay. Do you buy any other products like this? No? Okay, now you know this isn't a priority to them. So we need to work on educating them. What are some other objections? Price. Product didn't work. That's a big one. It just didn't work for me. Didn't taste good. That's an easy one. What were you looking for it to taste like? What did you like about it? Did you know we have a capsule? I love the capsule. That's what we get a lot of times. It's really when people say, I just didn't like the powder, and we said, you know it came in a liquid? They're like, no. Yeah, you could try it today. You could do 1 bottle, or we could save you money with a 3-pack, 4-pack, 6-pack, whatever it comes in. Seriously, you just ask another question, get them in the right mind frame. And this becomes really easy. We're not tricking anybody. I want to be very clear. I don't trick people into it. I don't want to, because then they're just going to return it. People love these products. So I want it to be simple for you, productive for you, and I want you to build good relationships. So above all, just leave people better than you found them.
I'd like to just say something about what Alex said about leaving them better than when you found them. What that actually does is drive new customers and distributors. Because what will happen is they didn't buy from you, but they had such a good experience with you that they'll be talking to a friend and how many times have you done this? Well, I tried it and I tried it for until whatever I used it for, I didn't need it anymore, but you should try it. And so leaving them better than when you found them with retention actually drives new enrollments. And then it just goes in a big circle, and that's when you enter the acceleration phase that Alex was talking about. And that's when you don't have to work as hard to keep the people, and you can focus on the new people, and that just, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy after that. And that's the ultimate power. And you're building the relationship for the long term. So
it works. For every sale we get, every order we get, once we call somebody and talk to them live, we get 2 from people that call us back. They tell us, no, I'm not ready. We leave them better than most people don't have a positive experience on the phone. Who calls? Remember, phone sales are dead. Phone calls are dead. Bothering people during dinner is dead, which is exactly why you need to do it. The best time to call people is at dinner. They're home. They're going to answer. My favorite thing is, well, we're eating dinner. They must have wanted to answer because everyone can ignore the call. Listen, again, I'm not trying to annoy anybody or chase anybody away. I'm here to help people. But I can't help people if they've not taken the products. Products don't work. That objection means they probably just didn't take them. Like 90% of the time they just didn't take them, which is crazy because they spent money on them. All right, last slide. Application. Over the next 6 months, Scott and I will be doing webinars and calls on retention. So we gave you a lot of information today, but we're going to be working with groups and working with leaders and working down from them. So trust that your takeaways today is all you need to apply. Pick 1 or 2 of these things and apply, and that we are going to be working for you and with you on this. This is a major company initiative backed by the Wallachs, backed by Dave Brisky, right? This is a major company initiative. So you are all part of it, and you'll be giving us feedback to help the programs grow, but the program is here to help you keep more people and help you make more money. So application, retention is all good. Nothing bad about retention. It's awesome, and it's a way to accelerate growth. Get ahead of the curve. If you only take one thing away today, it's maybe you're going to say, Alex, yeah, you're really good at calling people that didn't order for a long time. I could never do that. And I guarantee you can. If I can do it, really, you can. And I can train you and your team to do it. But if all you start with is today, every new customer or distributor, we're going to call it 7 days, 15 days, 30 days, 45 days, 60 days. If that's all you get out of this and you start doing it, in 90 days, you're going to say, ooh, I like this because it works. Guaranteed. Make the calls, learn, make more calls. Start calling your people that didn't order. Try some of these techniques, have a little fun with it. The first few calls are going to be awkward. I guarantee it. And then you're going to start to learn, and you're going to be like, ooh, that worked. Ooh, that worked. Ooh, wait, I got an order. I should call Alex. I should tell him it worked. Really, that'll happen. Then you're going to learn and be like, well, Alex said to do this, but I did this and it worked better. Thank God. We don't need more Alexes. We could use more Scotts, though. Make retention a priority. Okay, we spend so much time bringing in new people. Can you just set aside 4 hours a week, 1 day a week for 2 hours or 4 hours to do these calls? Don't rely on email. Make email part of it. Follow up with phone calls. Nobody calls. Texts are great. Texts are amazing, even better than emails. But the calls work best. And I'd be failing if I didn't tell you the best, most proven method of retention is getting people paid. I told him, I'm like, we're wrapping up. I told him when we put together this presentation, I said, here's what's going to happen. You're going to get involved, and I'm going to take over, and it'll be like you're not even there, and I'll have tunnel vision. He said, that's okay. If he wouldn't have said that was okay, I would have orchestrated this more. The best, most proven retention method that we have that sets us different than any other industry is we can get people paid to take our products. And when people make $100 or more, 98% of them stay on the product for 3 years or more. Month after month after month. The best way to retain people is to get them paid. Word of mouth, they love the product. Is my email address, alex@youngevity.com. Send me, put retention question right in the subject line. Retention question. We will be coming out to your team, so thank you so much. You guys were really great. Gave you a lot of information. Just supply one thing and you're going to start to see results. I want to make you aware of retention. It's really the secret to accelerating your business. So thank you, everybody.